everybody. Welcome back to Badger Witch Tarot. I'm Emily. My pronouns are they, them. I'm so glad you're here. Today's reading is a comforting message from the universe for you. So I really want this reading to be a hug in pick a card reading form. Just as comforting and relaxing and as fun as possible. So with that in mind, I have a lot of goodies in this reading today. So for choosing your pile, I have these three cuties here. I have this little blue owl for pile 1, this little pink dragon for pile 2, and this little snowy owl for pile 3. And just so you have an idea of what we're going to be doing, and if you want to watch this reading. So first we're going to start with a little, not quite a meditation, just a little intention, and as I light the candle for the reading, and just to let you know how very loved you are. Then we're going to do an energy check / kind of hyping you up, complimenting you from the universe. Then the main reading is and that's going to be oracle cards. Then the main reading is going to be tarot, and we're going to answer a couple questions. So, what do you need to hear? And that's like in a good, comforting way. That's the way I'm intending this. And also, how can you be gentler with yourself? Then I have some bonus messages. I have these little messages here, which I'll explain in more detail later. We're going to have these cards, which are my absolute favorite comforting cards. Some little messages, choosing some crystals and songs, and lots of fun stuff. So hang around for that. And yeah, I think that's it. If you've never done a pick a card before, you just take a deep breath and pick whichever pile you're drawn towards. So 1, 2, or 3. And I'll put the timestamps in the description box. And for this reading, it's totally cool if you're drawn to more than one. There could be more comforting messages for you, which is totally great. And really just have fun with it and take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and enjoy. So, like I said, I want to start with setting an intention for the reading. Just a little message for you. I have my little friendship plant here and this candle, which you can't smell it, but it smells really good. It's sage and citrus. So when I light the candle, I just want you to take a deep breath and absorb the energy that I'm sending out, which is that you are loved, you are safe, you are worthy and valid, and an absolute wonderful person who deserves all the good things. So take a deep breath and let that sink in. Okay. With that, I am going to get started with group 1 with the cute little blue owl. Hi, group 1. Welcome to your comforting message from the universe. So for starters, we're going to get a little bit of a hype up. What are some great things that describe you? So we've got Witch Hazel, sensitivity, Isis, strength, and Fox spirit, think on your feet. So this is gorgeous. You are a sensitive soul. but that does not make you weak. And by the way, I never think that makes anybody weak. I think sensitivity is a beautiful, beautiful, valuable thing. And it's one of the things that makes you unique. It's one of the things that makes you um, the amazing person that you are. So you're sensitive to other people, to their needs, to their feelings. You're sensitive to your own feelings. You're just very kind and caring and a gentle soul. And that's beautiful. But you are also very strong. And Isis is a ruler too, in her own right, a queen and a goddess. And I think I think you stand strong in who you are. I don't think you're ashamed of your sensitivity, or you're working on not being ashamed of your sensitivity. And I think you really own who you are and the space you take up in this world. And you are also very intelligent, very adaptable and quick thinking, and maybe even a little cunning, maybe a little witty too. And that is amazing. I can just see the intelligence in this fox's eyes. And I think you can see the intelligence in your eyes too. Beautiful. Okay. So if that sounds like you, this is your pile. If it doesn't, you can choose a different pile. But if if you're saying it doesn't seem like you because you're not wanting to accept the praise, then maybe just sit with it a bit and see if you can take it in. Okay, let's get started with your tarot. I'll set these to the side for now. So, we're going to do what do you need to hear? So, I'm going to use the Everyday Witch Tarot. This is one of my favorite decks, and it is absolutely lovely and comforting. Even the quote unquote like difficult shuffling is not my strong suit. Um, Even the quote unquote difficult cards are comforting in their own way in this deck. And there's a cat on every card, which, if you know anything about me, I know a lot of my followers are people I know personally, then you know that is right up my alley. Okay, let's see. What does Group 1 need to hear? Comforting messages. King of Wands. I think I'll get 3. Nope. 3 of Pentacles in reverse. And 3 of Swords in reverse. Cool. Okay. So, let's start with this King of Wands. And really, actually, all of it together makes a lot of sense. So, I think you're really forging your own path. And you're really passionate and in control of when and what you're manifesting and accomplishing, what you want to do. You're really planning and forging your path, and you're more in control and in command than you might realize. And you're very capable, very capable. And, you know, it's absolutely fine, better than fine actually, to ask for help when you need it. But I think right now you're actually being really independent and you don't necessarily need help with whatever this passion project is. I think you're really working on it individually. And I think it might even be a, you might have your own business and you might be the your own boss. You might be self-employed. There's the word I'm looking for. Okay. So that's what I'm really seeing. I think you're self-employed. Either that or you're in a leadership position of some kind. And even though you may work well with others, you're not having to do that so much right now. It's more a focus on your own work. And through this process of working on this passion and forging your own path, you're healing some old wounds. You've been through a lot. You've been through something or multiple somethings that are really painful. And through this process, you're making a lot of progress in healing those things. So I think this is really to say you're okay and you're going to be okay. Not every day is going to be perfect or okay because everything shifts and changes. But in general, you're going to be okay. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. I'm going to show you these cards close up because they're just too wonderful not to. Oh dear. And as you see, I'm going very casual with this reading. I'm very accepting any of the little mistakes I make here. All right, so that's your first message. Now, let's see. How can you be gentler with yourself? That's something we all need to do, I think. I get the first part of the shuffle, but the second one more. All right. How can pile one be more gentle with themselves? King of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles. And the Tower. All right. So, the way you can be gentler with yourself is to understand how truly hard you work. And that doesn't have to mean just like at a job that brings in money. I mean, in your daily life, in being the person you want to be, in healing, in everything, you work really hard. And I think you feel guilty sometimes for giving yourself praise or receiving abundance, whether that be money or praise, like I said. But a way you can be gentler with yourself is to accept that you deserve that abundance. I mean, you deserve that inherently for being the person you are, but also you work really hard and that you deserve recognition for that. And this is your recognition for that. You work really hard and you deserve good things and to enjoy life. And, you know, I know the grind of life is unfortunately necessary in a lot of ways in this capitalistic society. But um, when you can take time to enjoy things and reward yourself, don't feel guilty about it. You know, you deserve it. You really do. And remember, I mentioned that forging your own path thing? Well, the Tower card usually means like big, um, sudden, massive change. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Um, Usually it's just shocking. But what it does is it breaks down something to its foundations and and basically raises everything so then you can rebuild correctly. It takes down what wasn't working and leaves the path open to build things the right way. And I think you've done that yourself. Often, the tower, it's a moment that comes unexpectedly from the universe, but I think this was a choice that you made. Excuse me, I just need to drink a little sip of tea. That's better. Okay. I think it's a choice that you made to start over, to break down what wasn't working, and to be really brave and start over. And I think it was a huge change, or is a huge change. You could be actively doing this right now, but you're rocking it and you're being a badass, really. Um, and you're doing the work because it is work to do this kind of massive change, but you're doing it. So, in a way that you can be gentle with yourself is to rest and recuperate and understand that even though you chose this, it is natural for it to take its toll and for you to need time to recuperate. And don't feel guilty for taking that time and practicing self-care. Yeah. Okay. So next, we're going to do our bonus messages. So first, let's see, what do I want to do first? Let's do your little messages. So I have 3 little messages here. Now, as far as I'm concerned, the most comforting show on earth right now is The Great British Baking Show. And if you have Netflix, then you have access to that. So I hope you do. Because the first message is which season you should watch. So let's see. Okay, collection 6. I think that's the one with Sophie and Steven and Jan. That's a good one. Okay, so you should watch collection 6 on Netflix of The Great British Baking Show. Enjoy. Okay. Now, for this one, this is just a comforting activity that you should do. So let's see. Make yourself a hot beverage. Yes, enjoy some tea, a coffee, whatever would make you feel all cozy. That's lovely. Okay. And finally, this one was me just being a little self-indulgent and funny, or at least I think funny. So, my favorite singer-songwriter is Hozier. So, I decided to choose for each group a song that is morbidly comforting. So, it's like a slightly morbid song, but it's also bizarrely comforting. So feel free to listen or not to these. Like I said, it was kind of just a self-indulgent thing. So the song you should look up is In a Week, and that's from the Hozier album. So check that out if you feel curious. Okay. Now, based on your reading, I'm going to choose a crystal that I feel might be helpful to you. Might be comforting, might fit your vibe. So there are two that I'm drawn to, actually. So, garnet, which really makes sense with the passion and drive. It's also kind of grounding. And then this is blue chalcedony. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but it's a lovely crystal. It's very soothing, helpful with communication and clear thinking. Just two stones you might want to check out if you're into crystals. Okay, and we're going to finish this reading off with a Therapets card because they're wonderful. All right, let's see. What comforting message do you have for pile 1 or group 1? Oh, a little bird. Today is a brand new day, and you are a brand new you. Good luck. Yeah, this little birdie believes in you, and I believe in you. So, have a great day and just embrace that awesome you that you are. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this. Bye. Hello, Group 2. Welcome to your comforting message. So first, we're gonna hype you up a little bit, just talk about some of the things that make you awesome. So first, we have purpose. So that's beautiful. You really, you have a direction, you have a goal, you have purpose. You know you were meant to do something. And even if you lose sight of it sometimes, like everybody does, or even if it changes, you're always able to find your way back to it, back to something that's driving you. We have Matsu, Ascension. Yeah, so again, you have this like guiding light, this vision for what you want your life to be or what you want the world to look like. You kind of have a bird's eye view of things. You really have clear vision for life or for the future, for what you want things to look like. And I think you're often able to, at least externally, rise above difficult situations, take the high road, see perspective, and that's a huge strength. Then we have brown bear spirit, take time out. So, yeah, I think you know when to step back, when to let things play out. You know when to rest. Um, you may not always listen to that, but you know when you should. Um, I don't know why it came out like that, but let's stick with it. Um, I think you're really strong and grounded and patient, loyal, really beautiful. So, if that sounds like you, then this is your group. If not, maybe choose a different one. But this is coming through really strongly, and it's a really beautiful energy. So, you're an awesome person just for being you. Okay, so for tarot, what do you need to hear? And I'm using the Everyday Witch Tarot. It's one of my favorite decks, and there's a cat on every card, which is something that makes me very happy, and I find these cards very comforting. So let's see, what do you need to hear, group 2? One more. I'm a very clumsy shuffler, as you can tell, but that's okay. We're accepting the imperfections today. Maybe I can be like the Bob Ross of tarot people. It's a happy little accident. Oh, I'm sorry, group 2. You're getting my silly side right now. Okay, what does group 2 need to hear? Okay, 2 of Wands in reverse. Seven of Pentacles in reverse. And Knight of Swords. Okay. So, this is pretty cool. And by the way, don't be scared of reversals if you don't know much about tarot. Reversals aren't bad. They just give some more information, a little bit of different meaning from the upright card. So, what I'm getting from this is that very often you are and it makes sense with the cards we got from the energy check. Very often you are the person who has to do the planning, who has to be in charge, who has to have something cooking, have something in the works. Think of something before other people do. Things often fall to you. And this is saying it is more than okay, in fact, necessary, to be on the receiving end instead sometimes. And I think this is saying that that's going to be coming for you soon, or is coming now, that you're going to enter a time of being on the receiving end, of getting to take a step back from having all the answers and being the planner and growing all the things. You're going to be receiving the messages, you're going to be receiving the plans from other people for a change. Ideas and communications coming in, things moving quickly, but for once other people are doing that work, other people are using their brains for once. I feel like you have to do all the heavy lifting where the thinking is concerned sometimes, and this is nice because it sounds like you're going to be getting a break, at least a little one. And also, it's going to be a chance for ideas to flow in for you. Um, Maybe for you to get some inspiration for your own um, pursuits instead of maybe like work related or for other people. But definitely some swift moving energy, some new ideas, some new communications, but some other people leading the charge maybe for a little while, which sounds like a relief for you. So I hope that's the case, um, because just because you can and are good at thinking of things and being in charge and seeing the bigger picture, that's exhausting. So, yeah, hopefully you're going to be on the receiving end. Okay, let's look at the next question. How can you be gentler with yourself? How can you be gentler with yourself? So important, and I think something all of us need to do. It's a very hard world we live in, and I think gentleness is often something we need to give to ourselves. Ooh, that was a good one. Okay, group 2. How can you be gentler with yourself? Aw. Yeah, nope, not quite. Okay, one more card. Okay. So this is really nice. You have been through some rough stuff, and you have had disappointments and periods of lack and hardship, and I want to recognize that things have been hard, and I think you've had to kind of grin and bear it, but that shit's hard, and it's okay for it to have affected you. Like, that's okay. In fact, it's normal and human. But this is this is kind of your permission and moment to acknowledge those things, acknowledge how hard they were, and to let them go. Not in a they never happened and everything's all hunky dory way, but like to heal from them, to allow yourself to be happy, allow yourself to hope. I know that's scary. I know that's really scary. Um, and I'm not saying that in a mocking way. I mean that seriously. It's easier said than done. But you, it is more than high time, and you are more than deserving for good things, for easy times, for love and joy and peace. And I think a way you can be gentler with yourself is to let yourself feel that hope. Let yourself say, I deserve good things, and believe it. And you deserve a rest. I think you're a bit tired. And this is nice. This is like, you know, give yourself some love. Have you ever like heard people talk about like taking yourself out on a date, dating yourself? And this doesn't mean like you're giving up on romantic love or anything. You can have both at the same time, but this is just caring for yourself and loving yourself because you're amazing and you're worth it. And that's not selfish, that's not conceited. It's necessary and beautiful and a way that you can be gentler with yourself. Yeah, those disappointments hurt, but there's the hope. There are the good things still standing. Um, Good things coming. I think it's interesting that there's the beach in both of these cards. I think you're moving out of these times into these times. But that doesn't erase these times. And it's, I know it's hard to let them go, but they're, like I said before, you can move on from something without invalidating it. So that's what I'm saying here. Okay. Let's move on to the fun little messages. So I've got, or I have, not using correct grammar here. Okay. So, as far as I'm concerned, one of the most comforting shows ever is The Great British Baking Show. So, I hope you have Netflix because um, this message is what season you should watch of The Great British Baking Show. So we have collection 7. So I don't remember who's in that one, but I think Noel and Sandy are the hosts, and that makes me really happy. So go watch that, enjoy that. Then we have a comforting activity. So eat one of your favorite foods. Yes. Enjoy one of your favorite foods, a comfort food, something that makes you happy. Enjoy. Pleasure is part of being human, and you should never feel guilty for it. Just saying. Okay. And finally, this is a little bit of a self indulgence for me. So, my favorite singer songwriter is Hosier. And in trying to be funny, I picked a song for each group that is kind of morbid but bizarrely comforting. So, you don't have to listen to this, but if you're curious, go for it. Ooh, All Things End from the Unreal Unearth album. That's his current album. It's a new song and it is brilliant. And yes, it is dark, but it's also really comforting in a weird way. So, yeah. All right. Next, I'm going to pick a crystal for you based on your reading and based on the vibe I'm getting. That might be comforting for you. So, there are 2 that are jumping out at me. I've got lepidolite, which is really good for depression and anxiety. I don't know if you deal with those things, but even if you don't, it's a very calming, soothing, helpful crystal. I use that a lot. It actually has lithium in it, so there you go. But don't, I just as a disclaimer, do not eat the crystal. I know it's silly that I have to say that, but you know, it's YouTube, the internet. Okay, so this is black tourmaline, which is an amazingly grounding and protective crystal. I think if you have to deal with a lot of bullshit energy from other people, that's a good one for you. So, if you like crystals, okay. Finally, I'm going to get a Therapet card for you. These are so sweet and wonderful. All right. You are doing enough, and it's going to be okay. Yes. 100%. 100%. All right, group 2. I hope you found this comforting and enjoyable, and thank you so much for watching. Hello, group 3. Welcome to your reading. So first off, we're going to do an energy check and hype you up a bit, talk about why you're so awesome. So we have Bee Spirit, sweet results await. Cinnamon, reignite. Mustard, faith. And Lu Han, individuality. She's so pretty. Okay, so I I get the vibe you're both sweet and spicy, and that's awesome. I think you're a very unique person with a lot of fire, but you're also very sweet and kind and loving to the people that are close to you and to other people too. But you know, you can sting when people pull some bullshit, which is great. I also think you're a hard worker and just you may not realize it, but the things you do, what you put out into the world makes a big difference. You have a big impact, and that's really beautiful. So, I think you are extremely loyal. You have a lot of faith in your friends, and I think in yourself too. Maybe something you're healing and working on, but I think you have faith in yourself too. But you have a lot of faith in your friends, and I think in the power of good people, in the power of change and standing up for what you believe in. I think you have a lot of conviction. I just noticed that is a little frog on a hamburger. That is adorable. Okay. You might like frogs. That is too cute. Okay. And you've got some passion and some fire and whew, but you're also warm and comforting and inviting. And you probably smell good. um, I'm getting a little silly in this reading, but yeah, sweet and spicy. I love it. I love the energy of this reading. And then individuality. Yeah, you are 100% yourself. You are unique. You are powerful in your own right and just a very beautiful, beautiful soul. I'm grateful that you're here. I'm grateful that you exist. That didn't necessarily, I mean, that comes from me too, but I really just kind of felt and heard that message. So I think you needed to hear that. Okay, let's get to your tarot. So, first question. Oh, and by the way, if that didn't resonate with you, then maybe pick another pile. Each group was very different. So if this didn't resonate, try one of the other ones. Okay, so what do you need to hear? And I'm using the Everyday Witch Tarot, which is one of my favorite decks. Very comforting. There's a, yes, I know that shuffle was very bad. Now, there's a cat on each card, and if you know me, you know that that makes me very happy. So, let's see, what do you need to hear? What does group 3 need to hear? 8 cups. Four of Swords. Four of Wands. Oh my goodness. Okay. So, what this is saying to me is I think you need to hear some validation for a choice you made. You walked away from something or are deciding to walk away from something, leave something behind that does not serve you anymore. And this is not an easy choice, but you are doing the right thing, or you are thinking of doing the right thing, because you don't need whatever that is, whatever's holding you back in your life anymore. And you are ready to move forward. And after you do that, take some time to rest. Truly let yourself rest because you need it and because you deserve it. And you need some true rejuvenation. And maybe in the practical, like now, you need a nap. This might be a sign that you need a nap. Totally valid. And also, I'm just getting the vibe that you might be feeling under the weather and you need to rest to keep yourself from getting sick. Sometimes we want to go, 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 but our bodies need that rest. So that's just a separate message I'm getting. And once you leave this thing behind, and in general, you're going to be celebrating and feeling. I love this. This makes me think of like spring and May, spending time with friends, but just like celebrating life. Like you're going to be feeling some joy that you have not felt in a long time. And it may feel weird, it may feel scary, but embrace it. Embrace the joy when it comes. And be proud of yourself too for making this hard decision. And it could be something small, like it doesn't have to be some huge thing. You'll know what this is, but it's just leaving something behind, especially something that drains you emotionally. Yeah. But you could be going to some kind of celebration, some kind of gathering, and enjoy that. Enjoy seeing people that maybe you haven't in a while. This could only be for a couple people, but just enjoy, celebrate, have fun. Also, I'm seeing like you might need some more color in your life, like literally color around you and your surroundings or in the clothes you wear. Maybe some flowers. Just color. Color and joy. And it is okay to feel happy. I know that's really hard sometimes to feel happy, especially if you've been through a lot, especially if you're afraid that it's not going to last. But You deserve to be happy. You do. You deserve to rest. You deserve to be happy. And you also deserve to feel strong in your decisions to move past things. Yeah. Okay. Next, how can you be gentler with yourself? How can you be gentler with yourself? So important. So important. And something that's very hard and that we often have to do for ourselves. All right. How can group three be gentler with themselves? Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. So this is pretty clear to me. A couple of things. Fill your own cup. I know that's cliche and might be annoying to hear, but seriously, love on yourself. Like, you're amazing. It's not selfish to love yourself. And I think you've been pouring out love and energy for other people to the imbalance of the love you're getting. And I think it's really important for you to give some more to yourself and not apologize for it. Definitely practice some love, some self love. Do the things you enjoy. Take time for yourself. And what I'm seeing with these two cards is, you know, this might not feel gentle, but don't be afraid to ask for what you need. And it doesn't have to be harsh, it doesn't have to be an argument, but if you have really, and this doesn't have to be romantic, but if you have any big relationships in your life where things are feeling imbalanced, um, I think this is a sign to focus on yourself more, put more energy into yourself, and possibly ask if things aren't being equal and reciprocated in a relationship. Maybe give examples for how you feel loved, not like, saying, oh, you're not giving me the energy I'm giving you, but just like, hey, I'd love it if you said out loud that you love me more often. Or I'd love it if you gave me more hugs. That kind of thing. I know that's very simplistic, but you get the idea. Um, but also, this is just saying that right now, maybe romantic relationships, um, they can still be important. Like, I'm not saying forget about your romantic relationships, but your relationship with yourself is really important right now. And in order to practice that self care and gentleness towards yourself, I think you need to realize that your relationship with yourself is just as important, if not more important, than your relationships with other people. And you deserve your love just as much as other people deserve your love. Yeah. I know that doesn't feel so gentle necessarily. It's quite an intense message, but it's important. It's important. Okay. So now let's go on to your little messages. I've got 3 messages here. Now, one of the most comforting shows ever, in my opinion, is The Great British Baking Show. So I hope you have Netflix and can watch it because this is suggesting a season. All right, Collection 5 on Netflix. Give that a watch if you need some comfort. Then we have a comforting activity. Snuggle up with comfy blankets. Yes. Make yourself a little nest, snuggle up, get cozy. Definitely a great thing to be doing. And finally, this was my own little bit of silliness. My favorite singer-songwriter is Hozier, and for funsies, I decided to choose one of his songs for each group that is morbid but also oddly comforting. So let's see which one you got. Shrike from Wasteland Baby. The Wasteland Baby's the album. Yeah, gorgeous song. Really beautiful. About carnivorous birds. I don't make the rules. I just live here. Anyway, man, I'm getting silly in this reading. That's okay. We can be silly here. Now, I wanted to choose a crystal or 2 for each group that I thought would be helpful. So for your group, it's interesting. This wasn't even in the choices, but it's popping out at me. So this is clear quartz, which is very good just for amplifying your intentions, for clear thinking. It's all in all just a powerful crystal. But this crystal in particular was given to me and means a lot to me. So I think this is just saying that you are so strong, you are so brave, and this world is better for you being in it. So aside from the clear quartz, there was also a message there. So yeah, rose quartz, gentle, loving, self-love energy, 100% would be a good one for you if you like crystals. Okay, finally, a Therapets card. These are adorable and comforting, and here we go. Message for group 3. It's okay to be uncomfortable. It's okay to be scared. You will succeed in spite of these feelings. Whew. Yes, I know this well. Those fears, those feelings of discomfort and anxiety can feel absolutely overwhelming, but you can and will succeed in spite of those feelings. Okay, let me get you another one because that was a heavy one. All right, we might get another one, but you must need to hear these things. So, you are strong, you are resilient, you will defeat this. Yes, you are strong and resilient, and you will get through whatever that is. Oh my gosh, there we go. All right, that's what I was hoping for. It's your weirdness that makes you wonderful. Abso-positively. Yep, embrace the weird. What a great note to end on. All right, I hope you found this reading comforting, and thank you for watching.